before this game started, and I quote, "I've been playing Dota-esque games since StarCraft 1 custom maps. These new gold and XP changes are totally absurd." So the EG captain has spoken, and PPD is not so excited.
It's definitely the thing which the community has the most polarizing react to that, which is unfortunate because there's so many awesome things about the new patch, some of the hero changes, the different hero reworks, which I'm really excited for, the rune changes. I'm not crazy about the Roshan. I like Roshan moving, although I'm still not thrilled about the whole bottom rune area. It's very confusing and it feels less dynamic, but I think it's just sad that this whole like golden XP change is what everyone's focusing on, which, I mean, you're always going to focus on the negative, but there's so much cool stuff in the new patch at the same time.
Yeah, I kind of agree. We'll see how it works out, though. Just thought I'd share that little tidbit before we get into the game. Again, guys, it is a best of 5 for the grand finals here. This is the final matchup of Star Ladder America for Season 10, and it is a one-game winner's advantage. That's how EG was rewarded for climbing their way through the winner's bracket, where SNA did have to battle it out against Navi US yesterday, where the patch dropped halfway through that loser's bracket finals series. So SNA did win it 2-0, but did spice things up just a little bit there. Looking at lanes, Sneaky Nick's Assassins will be fairly straightforward. IX Mike will take the Bat Rider off lane. Ush will go solo mid on the Tide Hunter, which does give them a safe lane try. TC on the position 1 Terrorblade, Fluff here on the Disruptor, and that does put Whitebeard on the Ogre. So interesting to see Whitebeard not playing his Disruptor. Instead, he'll be on the big tanky Ogre.
I'm really surprised by that. This guy was the disruptor of the TI3 qualifiers, but maybe just hasn't played it much since then. I don't know, maybe he's a prodigy on the Ogre Magi, and this buff was what he's been waiting for to make his big comeback. So definitely not the expected player hero setup from the Nyx Assassins.
No, definitely not. Dire side will have Evil Geniuses. Universe will be off lane on the Elder Titan, and could be in some trouble already. We'll take the stun from Whitebeard. Path block coming about, but won't be there, and the kinetic field will be off the mark. And Universe will survive the initial onslaught.
Yeah, I was... The TP skill, but often you'd think, oh, you should go Reflection, but the Metamorph gives so much damage that I think it's TC's on the right thing, skilling it up, but unfortunately without the kinetic field, or maybe could have gone for a Glimpse, although Glimpse level 1 you'd have to get fairly close to cast, but yeah, it's still okay. I think with TC, sure you use the Metamorph cooldown, but it just helps you last hit and lane control so well that it's actually an okay skill in the early laning stage to somewhat spam, so I think they're not too fast.
Yep. Mid lane, it will be Arteezy on the Phantom Assassin, joined by Zai playing on the Wisp, and that does leave PPD here on the Lion, and the safe lane farming Fear, who will take point on the Brewmaster, who should find a fair bit of farm here. That's one hero that wasn't really touched in the patch all too much, so he is in good shape, just as strong as ever. Mid lane though, Ush, this could very well be your first blood as Arteezy mans up. He does have those 2 value points, the Kraken Shell as well as the Anchor Smash, and talk about the worst time to pause. There's potential for a turnaround here, actually.
Yeah, this will be close. They'll get the dagger and 1 or 2 right clicks. I think Ush goes down. He really needs that next Anchor Smash because the first one's about to wear off. This is also the newly nerfed Anchor Smash, so it doesn't do as much damage reduction as it used to do, which was a fairly solid nerf.
I think that's appropriate. It still does the same amount at the max level, but now it just scales. So it's not that ridiculous value point of, yeah, good luck killing me, guys. Now it's still good, but I think 45% is pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it should be dead. He's got a Tango which he can use in exactly 1 second. But the problem is level 1 Anchor Smash, the cooldown doesn't match the duration. So there's that, even if he survives the next couple right clicks, there's a full second where he doesn't have Anchor Smash on the PA and he should be dead. And there's also bottle on this, so we'll still be able to heal him up. This is definitely first one.
Yep. And Arteezy throws the dagger, but no! They don't commit for it. Fluff TP's in, glimpse back onto the Wisp, and is it the first blood the other way? Yeah, it sure is. Fluff and Stuff draws it. Now Arteezy on the run, will have a Blink Strike, makes it back to the creep wave, but the first blood goes the other way, and it is Disruptor that reaps the benefits.
Well, the pause working in Nyx Assassin's favor, I guess, and there was an EG pause, so there's no getting upset about it.
Yep, yeah, certainly right. So Ush will grab the bounty rune here, fill up his bottle, and down bottom Fluff and Stuff will pick up the illusion rune, spawning at the 2-minute mark. So good news for the Nyx Assassins all around. And TB, he's getting a lot of farm down here. He's almost the last hit leader, just about neck and neck with the Phantom Assassin and having a lot of room to farm. As they'll go right onto Ush again in the mid lane. Arteezy trying to decide how much he wants to commit to it, doesn't want to get hit by the anchor smash, and they will be happy just to harass back Ush and then just go right back to farm.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice. The new TP change is the 100 gold. It means you can go for these very early TP pickups on supports and rotate a lot more to help with these tower dives. So Ush does have that slight reassurance in the mid lane and already died level 3. Once he gets a few levels, that's where this potential aggression from EG mid really fades off. If they want to kill him, they needed to do it at level 1, level 2. Now that he's hit level 3, probably going to get even a second point in Kraken Shell at level no Ghost Gush, but he's just going to get really tanky here in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the value point in Gush can be pretty good. It's pretty mana intensive, but with those TP rotations like you're talking about, it does help set up kills, and he is bottle crowing here, and with some rune control, he will be able to have the mana pool that allows him to use Gush at least more than he would in the off lane. Speaking of the off lanes here, Bat Rider not getting much. IX might find his level 2, but still 0-0 in terms of last hits. PPD doing a good job keeping him zoned out. Again in the mid lane, they'll go in onto Ush as he presses towards the creep wave. Only 9 last hits, but at least he's finding experience, and that is a pretty big deal in the context of the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, a lot more farm on the PA, but time to get the levels. He'll get Ravage coming into play, and when he's got that, you could see maybe another support rotation towards mid, be it another TP in from Fluff, maybe a smoke towards mid, and try and use that Ravage to, even if just getting a kill on the Wisp, just get some kills and momentum going away with your team.
Yep. This time Wisp will be the one to grab the bounty rune, but it's Tide Hunter who lucks out and finds the real one, and it will be an invisibility, so it gives him kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card if he gets jumped upon. But I think for now, Arteezy just happy to rack up the farm. TB is in free farm heaven down bottom. Universe has just sacrificed the lane. He moved into the jungle and just trying to get a baseline of farm. He is almost level 4, so ironically enough, still doing better than IX Mike. And moving to the jungle has made his life a lot easier. Looks like Michael set his sights towards the jungle. No stacks for him to move into quite yet, but he'll be able to help himself to grabbing some neutral kills.
Yeah. So I think as far as the early game concerned, EG, even though that dive mid didn't work out, they're just kind of out-farming their opponents in most of these lanes. Brewmaster doing well top, and sure, trading Brew farm for a TB farm sounds bad on paper, but Brewmaster's going to be a mid-game threat. He's going to be getting the fast flank, looking to go from there, control the tempo of this game, whereas TB, he can only control the game as much as he can apply pressure to towers. He doesn't have that team fight. He can team fight pretty well with Metamorph, but not on the same level of like utility that a Brewmaster ultimate gives you.
Right. Yeah, and that's the big difference in where they'll peak. And TB can get some early farm now, but if they kill him a few times in the mid-game, maybe they can bring him back down to planet Earth. Kind of curious to see exactly what build TC goes for. Right now, just Aquila, Brown Boots, nothing too crazy about it. Any thoughts about kind of the ideal Terrorblade build?
I know, I think it depends a bit on the style of play. Like, there's a really strong up build, which is like Sanjin Yasha Boots of Travel, and you focus entirely on split pushing. Mid lane, though, there will be a bit of a kill attempt here.
Universe coming in, and we'll have some follow-up damage. They'll hop forward and finish off the Tide Hunter. Wisp actually gets credit for it, even though Arteezy is the one that blinks forward and does the bulk of the damage. Glimpse back onto the Wisp. Zai in some trouble, but he'll tether over the ravine and hop right to his buddy Arteezy. Sips down that bottle. They'll both get healed up, and it'll be a successful kill on the solo mid-Tide. And EG feeling good. Universe also helping out, so that helps get him a little bit of extra experience and, of course, some gold from the assist.
And the instant bottle refill too, so 6 minutes hits, he knows he's going to get a rune, doesn't have to have that 50-50 chance, and Wisp is good to just stay mid with more regen. This new Wisp is going to be really scary in the mid lane, I feel. I think it's going to become a fairly top pick again. Already it's a top pick for some teams, but even more so in 6.82 with the rune change.
Nah, definitely agreed on that front. IX Mike will grab the haste rune that spawned down bottom. He spent some time in the jungle and now finds his level 4, and he'll just continue on farming up here. In the top lane, EG will move into the tier 1 tower, and it looks like the same will happen down bottom as the sneaky Nyx Assassins start to press forward. Glyph comes out on the Radiant side. It doesn't look like they'll mount the defense. Instead, they'll look for the tower exchange, but this won't be too easy. Universe doesn't have Echo Stomp now to TP up from Just the disruptor. Tower is getting pretty low. Wisp will use the bounty rune, tether to Fear, give him a little bit of extra mana. Fear's also found his level 6, so if they try to defend this, Primal Split will come out, and they will go down. Dire get the last hit, but first tower of the game goes the way of the Evil Geniuses, furthering their gold lead.
Yeah, not as much money as you used to get, but still pretty important strategic milestones. It's still not going to be a Blink Dagger just yet for Fear, but he's very close, 150 away. He's going to have an 8-9 minute Blink Dagger with Arcane Boot, so you look to him ganking very soon. He'll hit level 7 and have the max out clap, and that's where most of these heroes on the Radiant side will just die to those games, with the exception of maybe something like a Batrider Fire flying over a ravine or something. Maybe Tide can tank it up as well, but even Tide will struggle to survive that.
Yeah, and that big disparity in farm is, well, hold that thought, as Ush in the mid lane will get initiated on. Allison looking for the proper opening, but knows that there's a Ravage, doesn't want to dive under the tower, and that TPs could be coming in. Also, Batrider off the map. They don't know where Mike is. They know he's not level 6, but still some potential there if he, has a stray point in Flame Break. Arteezy plays it safe. Seems to be the right call. Another bounty rune going the way of Wisp, and this is also good news for Zai as he finds all this extra experience. Hush does use the Ravage this time as Arteezy jumps on him. Whitebeard coming in, Fire Blast in range of the tower. Arteezy taking a lot of damage, and he will go down. So that's exactly what he was worried about the first time, and, well, this time his fears are realized.
Yeah, and speaking of fears, those are the kind of fights I think if EG want to apply pressure there, they need Fear showing up on the Brewmaster. He's got the money for his Blink Dagger, hasn't bought it yet. I think he's just farming this last creep wave before he goes to the shop, but if he has his Blink TPs in there, that's an easy turnaround for EG. So I think maybe just was a little short at the time the fight started out, but this next time they go for any pressure mid lane, they'll be ready with that, especially with Ravage on cooldown.
Yep. Bottom lane, TB still just farming away. It looks like he'll move into drums after the power treads here. Has himself a bracer picked up. Did do some decent damage to that bottom tier 1 tower, but has yet to bring it down. And Dire still have their glyphs standing. So there is a disparity going that way in favor of EG. The gold graph, about 1,500 for the Evil Geniuses, but experience is leveled out as now the Batrider has jungled up a bit.
Bottom to gank TB.
Yep. They'll smoke up. Fear has the Blink Dagger. He'll show it off Whitebeard. Goes on the Whitebeard. Connects with the clap. There's your split. Arteezy hops in. Whitebeard drops the Fire Blast. And now TB caught inside of the Cyclone. Can they bring him down fast enough? Sunder will be a serious threat here as Ice Mike comes in. And yep, they'll burst it down to TPD. Gives him the finger. Arteezy caught inside of the lasso. Will burn down to the fire. And it will be a 2-for-1. Make it a 2-for-3 as around the backside. Universe and Dire there. They'll be able to finish off the Disruptor. He does get taken out by a neutral, but now Batrider gets left behind. And Evil Geniuses with a very convincing fight. Sure, there was a deny on the Disruptor, but doesn't take away anything from, or doesn't take away much from that victory.
And they steal the neutral stacks of Batrider, which he was trying to work on there to get his Blink Dagger up. I think he maybe had it, because he's sitting on 2k gold right now. Didn't buy the Blink before he died, but good gank there, recognizing they want to gank the TB. The smoke was intended to find him. They found the Ogre first, but they get the Terrorblade anyway, so for EG, they're going to be pretty happy with how things went down there.
Ush up top, will try to TP home, no way to interrupt him, and he will live. But yeah, now this line pick kind of coming into focus a little more. That's one of the best ways to deal with TB. Just burst it down before he can have the opportunity to get off a good Sunder. Exactly what we saw right there. Good setup from EG, and now they'll just rotate mid and look to claim yet another tower. Of course, the glyph is cooled down after they cleared out the top tier 1, and they'll do some decent damage before backing out. And no need to force a fight here. They'll be happy just to sit back and force a reaction out of the sneaky Nyx Assassins.
Yep. The Nyx Assassins, they still just want to try to create as much space for TC as possible. Treads, tackle, it looks like he'll just go for drums here, so much more teamfight oriented build here with the treads and the drums, just trying to tank up, get as many stacks as possible, and go from there.
Yep, short range lifts onto Arteezy. He takes a little bit of damage, but Zai will just relocate him back to the well and bring him right back to the mid lane. So sort of giving him a free top off there, and also a haste rune in the bottle of Zai. So maybe they can set something up here as a lot of damage comes out onto Ush. The Wisp balls fly through. He's fake punting, no anger smash, but there's your Ravage as Ush moves into the streamline. Wisp will be able to finish him off. Disruptor with a static field and kinetic, but it won't be enough to find a turnaround kill. The haste is used, as are the drums from Drums are used somewhere. And that'll be it though. Just a 1-0. Now Fluff gets jumped on by Fear. Zai is there to tether up, and Fear will just chase him down. An easy set of kills. Double for Zai. Now in the bottom lane, Whitebeard gets initiated on by Universe and PPD. He'll get turned into a frog and not even going to be able to get off the Fire Blast before he falls. So 3 kills coming out across the map and make it 4. TC caught in the jungle, and EG just picking them apart as they grab a lot of momentum here, Gods.
Yeah, they're finding these great little engagements here. They're not finding full 5v fight into a Tide Ravage, into a Bat Rider with a Blink Lasso. They're just finding these smaller scale fights, which is where a Wisp PA can kind of shine. They find a couple kills, and then if they need to, they've got that reassurance of a relocate out. They can help their teammates if they do find a bigger scale engagement, and just really efficient play for EG all around the map.
Yeah, Arteezy in the mid will get caught inside of the lasso, looking to make the great escape. Won't find a rune that'll help him out too much. Just a bounty, and it looks like he will go down, relocate from Wisp. Coming in, but won't be able to save him, and he'll get glimpsed right back down from whence he came, and will just be in the mid lane, not too far off. But nice recovery kill for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. That's something, but they'll need just a little bit more than that. Brewmaster will find the Bat Rider, and allow the rest of the fight transpire as EG kind of on the back foot. You want to be a little bit careful about how they take this initiation. Wisp once again will fill up the bottle with his bounty rune. It just feels like Zai is constantly topped off and has plenty of regeneration to go around.
Yeah, it's it's the new fountain, these bottles. Like, the Universe went for a bottle on the offlane, Elder Titan. We're going to see a lot more bottles on supports and offlaners, I think, with these rune changes. And well, it's working well so far for EG, just being able to sustain. Wisp, it's great because he not only sustains himself, but it's all his teammates with the tether regen.
Yeah, exactly. And now EG will group up mid once more. No damage available for another 25 seconds. They'll jump on him. Finger almost brings him down, but not quite. And the Tide will survive the onslaught, but no, Universe, he snipes him down with the Astral. Very nicely done.
Yeah, and this should open up the tier 1 mid tower. He is going to zone everyone out. He's got no ultimate, but doesn't really need one per se.
Yeah, he's not so scared. Mike has a lasso coming up in just a second, but Fear's pretty damn tanky as he has the point booster already. Glyph comes out, but it won't stop the tower from falling. No denial commence, at least it doesn't look like it. Now we'll go down to the Dire, and EG just pulling further and further ahead now. Almost 7,500 gold and 5,000 experience.
You know, they tried to kind of take away snowballing with some of the gold changes and towers, but runes, definitely the double runes, favors teams who are snowballing and have map control, because if you have a couple bottles in your team and you're guaranteed to be able to constantly regen up, it does help you snowball to some extent. So they nerf some I mean, they nerf the kind of bigger aspects of snowballing and the tower money you can get in the tier 1 tower glyph stuff, but double runes definitely favors an EG snowball right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they'll just go bottom. There's a glyph, but it won't be enough to keep this tower alive, it doesn't look like. Sneaky Nyx Assassins will just hang out the mid, and this bottom tower will go down. They won't even bother using the glyph to waste some of their time. And that will be 3-0 now in total tower count, and even more gold in the pocket of the Evil Geniuses. Universal to get the last hit on that one, and gets him one step closer to his mech, only a couple hundred gold away from the recipe.
EG team is been finding these good fights and good trades, tower kills and all that, without even some of these core items coming up. I mean, Fierce had his Blink for all, but he's coming Ag Scepter, Universal have his mech. All around the board, there's just core items coming, as Arteezy's also going to have his drums back at base as well, being picked up soon.
Alright, smoke from the Sneaky Nyx Assassins in the mid lane. And where are they headed with it? Looks like they'll move back into their jungle. PPD will be on the high ground. He sees an illusion. He gets pinged out, and he'll just back up to rendezvous with his buddies, but he'll get glimpsed into a kinetic field, static storm, and it looks like it'll be rough for him to survive. It certainly will, but the relocate is there. They'll clean up the Ogre as well as the Disruptor. Down goes the Terrorblade, and EG, they may lose their PPD, their captain, their drafter, but they find vengeance, and they get a great trade out of it.
That was just throwing everything for Lion, and the hilarious thing was Lion almost survived. He got out of the kinetic field static storm, and it was like the last right click from the Terrorblade that killed him. If that last auto attack didn't come off from Terrorblade, PPD lives after all those ultis, after an Ogre Fire Blast. Like, that was just shows the desperate position the Nyx Assassins are in.
Yeah. And as we can imagine, that gold lead is furthering. More and more items coming out. Wisp, he's actually going into a buckler. So, mech has already been completed on the Elder Titan. Maybe a miscommunication. Maybe a Crimson Guard.
Guard, man.
Yeah. Crimson Guard
It's a
Wisp?
really good item versus Terrorblade because it's all physical damage. So having like your whole team having that Vanguard block block of a Crimson Guard really negates the Terrorblade's power. So
okay.
That was the game I saw earlier today with Myth Trust playing where they picked Terrorblade and the other team got a Crimson Guard and their Centaur, and it really negated a lot of his damage.
Alright, well, we'll see if that's what Guy's done for. Deep in lane, it'll be IX Mike to initiate, right onto Zai himself. It'll drag him right into the fray, and that'll be a dead wisp. They'll end that little killing spree and find a pretty penny there. Arteezy will get glimpsed back, hit by the flame break, but will be able to walk to safety, and now some support coming in. EG perhaps looking for a return kill. PPD quite fast with his Tranquil Boots, finds the initiation onto Ush. But Whitebeard's there with a 2x multiple cast. Now they'll follow up. They'll jump on the Whitebeard. Ravage flies through. Connects on the Artour. He'll take a lot of damage, but Mech gets used. That'll pick it back up. Fear off to the side, serving as an effective distraction, kind of breaking up this fight from Snob. They'll be on the back foot now, but Lit will be coming up soon. Might be able to relocate in. Disruptor will fall to the Lion, Earth Spike, and that Astral Spirit jumping right on top of him. EG just too big right now. That Mech making all the difference in the world.
Yeah, they're very sustainable. The Mech, and then you've got Wisp who can show up and heal people as well. He did get picked off at the side of that fight, but if it's not the Elder Time there with the Mech, it's the Wisp there with the overcharge as well as the bottle, the urn heals. So everyone on the EG side just very hard to kill. Like they get a glimpse back on Arteezy into 3 or 4 enemy heroes, and they just couldn't kill him.
Yeah, mid lane, Ush with no Ravage available. Fear will capitalize. Thunderclap into the split. Hits him with a boulder, and now he'll just go to town, but support is there. The Mech has been picked up onto the Tidehunter, so he'll be able to top himself off. And now Fear on the defensive will try to back things out like the rest of EG. Start to group up around the mid lane. If Snar are not careful or perhaps overcommit, they may get punished. Mike looking for a lasso onto Zai. Won't be able to find it. Z tethers away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Disruptor gets set up on by Universe. The follow-up damage is there. The Earth Spike will bring him down. TB takes a 2x Bloodlust. PPD will get finished off. Compliment to that Terrorblade, but now Arteezy on his way in will bring down the Bat Rider. They converge onto Whitebeard, and again, they'll trade their captain for 3, and even a buyback on PPD as he's hungry to do some crippling damage here.
Yeah, I think they sense blood right now, and they're going for that kind of killing blow. He's trying to make sure Nexus has to pull behind there. Another quick Martins with a finger. They bring down the Tinky Tidehunter, and they're suddenly on the high ground, going for a tier 3 tower.
Yeah, there's a glyph here, but Nyx Assassin's in some trouble. Even as they come up, there will be no Ravage, and that's their big team fight ability that they really need. Universe just zoning people out with the Astral Spirit, trying to use that Echo Stomp to create some space, as we've seen him do. The glyph will be forced out, tower goes down to half health, and they retreat right as Mike comes in looking for the lasso. They'll use it on the PPD, he'll get back up, they'll try to keep him alive as best they can. Manages to get off a stun before he goes down. PPD surviving thanks to the support of Zai. It'll cost the Bat Rider his life. The sustain is just too much. Terrorblade secures the kill on line, but now they leave their Disruptor. Whitebeard isolated as they dive on him, takes a coup de grace from the back, and now it's just TC. He'll make it back to the well. Tidehunters respawn, but it just doesn't matter. His Ravage is up, and all of his friends are dead. Glyph has been used, and this will be a lane of barracks.
Yeah, and with this one, Nyx Assassin don't have the items to really turn this one around too much. Have to do everything he can.
Yep, Ravage on 4. TC's here for some follow-up damage. Can they find any counter kills though? Zai running low on mana, only so much he can do, but they'll bring down TC. And Tidehunter, well, stuck inside the Cyclone. He'll probably be going down pretty soon as well. Ice Mike coming in, does not have a lasso, getting crit hard by Arteezy. The mech is cooled down. Universal will use it to top everyone off. They're even diving tier 4 towers here. Few cares in the world for EG. Not even focusing the barracks, just going for the hero kills. Maybe they won't be able to get the barracks after all, but they've still done some pretty crippling damage here. Wisp will get glimpsed back. Kinetic field comes out. The Urn helping to heal him up. It won't be enough to stay alive. Fear on the back foot. He's trying to run out. Universe setting it up with the Echo Stomp again. As Whitebeard falls, Arteezy hops back into the fray, and EG will finally turn their focus onto the structure. Melee barracks will go down, but not before us. He'll get taken out once more, and it's just a bloodbath here in the Radiant base. Buyback on the Tidehunter this time. They'll finally be repelled, but I feel like that fight alone just speaks to the power of evil geniuses. Arteezy finally gets caught. He'll go down, but whew.
That was just never-ending, EG just so tanky and durable. All the heals just kept them.
Look at this, Disruptor gets a blink dagger. off that counter kill onto the Phantom Assassin, ending the mega kill streak. So
yeah, that's why PPD's like, did we lose? Artour just died. That's he's not even their top net worth hero. They should be more worried about Fear dying. He's 7-0-11. He's top of the net worth. He's the one you don't want dying right now.
Yeah,
and he's got a huge net worth and also a big kill streak. So that's the hero which will give you 3k plus gold split between your team if you kill him potentially.
Yeah. So at least Snog gets something out of that. A Blink Dagger onto the Disruptor is something. Maybe not enough to totally change the tide of this game, but a step in the right direction at the very least. Now we'll see a Vladimir's Offering come out onto the Brewmaster. Wisp is got the Buckler complete and probably still likely to go for the Crimson Guard, but holding on to 1,800 gold, Zai will continue pooling it up. What's the Courier got coming? Oh, that's a Crimson Guard recipe and a full Vitality booster. So just looking for that one last little piece. And the Ring of Health will secure the Crimson Guard for the Wisp already.
Very early, because the one thing, like that last fight that Nyx Assassins finally repelled EG was when Metamorph came up. They just needed that Terrorblade Metamorph damage. That really scared EG off and started getting them some kills, but here becomes a gap, and well, that's going to go a long way of just negating any of Terrorblade's impact in these fights.
Yeah. Now EG move into the Roche pit. Wisp is there, just healing up Arteezy, who's tanking the Roche. And even though Roche got some buffs, he's still not unkillable, and they'll be able to secure it. Phantom Assassin now with a Demon Edge to follow the Drum of Endurance, and now an Aegis of the Immortal to boot. That'll be your completed Crimson Guard as the Vanguard gets delivered, and not only does Wisp have the ability to counter the Terrorblade, but that's 1,400 hit points on a Wisp. He's pretty damn tanky here.
Yes, it's a really actually nice item for the Wisp. He's just going to use it casually in the bottom lane as they go in on Mike. Mike's got no answer for this.
Yeah, meanwhile in the mid, fight breaks out onto Fear, and uh-oh, this could be the end of him. This is that big streak, can't get off the split, and it will be Terrorblade that gets all that gold, although it's split around the team.
It looks like they got like, what, 400 each maybe?
Yeah. Not
500 each
much.
Between...
Okay, so like 2,400 each across the 4 heroes. That's 1,600. It's not too bad.
I think it was like 1,600 in the gold, AoE gold, plus the gold they got from ending the streak, which was 800 for TC. So
right.
It was a decent chunk. It was like 2,400 gold total, maybe.
Yep.
And
it's spread around.
Pretty spread around.
So Blink Dagger is now picked up on the Tide following that. Whitebeard has himself a point booster, and we will see the Manta completed on TC. So bottom tier 2 tower will start to take some pressure as EG will relocate from the Wisp. Will keep Arteezy alive as the Bat Rider comes in, and Zai may just have to play Sacrificial Lamb here. Meanwhile in the top lane, TC. Terrorblade in some trouble. He's all by his lonesome, and he'll get fingered down. He'll get glimpsed back. Ravage is there. Connects on Arteezy and Zai. And maybe they can turn this around. Zai somehow still alive. Manages to get off the Crimson Guard before he falls down. Arteezy takes a 2x. Won't be able to finish off the kill. Universe needs the Echo Stun to keep Arteezy alive. He's life stealing. Still has the Aegis of the Immortal. It will expire now. Universe with the Earth Splitter flying through. Right here, lose a little bit of mana fluff off to the side. Just manages to juke the Earth Splitter. Will live, but not for too long as Arteezy comes up and chops him down. So EG with another successful fight down here. Took him a little while to get their ducks in a row, but the delay was worth it as they secured that kill onto the Brew. Pardon me, onto the TB as now Brew goes in right onto Mike, connects with the Boulder. Bat Rider will take a tumble. Ravage has already been deployed, so this mid lane of Rax in some trouble. Glyph has cooled down, but I think Sna kind of on their last leg here, Cots.
It feels like it. Maybe one last fight, and then Terrorblade needs his Metamorph in 20 seconds if they want to try and hold this and take a fight. They'll lose Raxus and maybe make a last stand for another lane of Raxus, but bottom lane they set like a sort of T2 tower, so still be some time before EG can necessarily get the second to the Raxus, but they're just so strong in these team fights that they're not even too worried about actual Raxus at the time.
So, glimpse back onto Universe, but EG, they're ready to fight. Artour goes right in on the Fluff, will crit him down, and that will be the first kill to start off this fight. The rest is the Nyx Assassins headed towards the well without a Ravage. They simply just can't take a team fight. Whiteport and Fear will actually TP out. Arteezy going pretty deep, will survive as a huge Earth Spike. Comes out from PPD on 3. EG diving pretty deep once more. Needs to be careful not to feed too much away. Sunder comes out onto Fear. He'll live at about half health. The finger on the Batrider to bring him down. Now pressing into the well. That'll be the Echo Slam to set it up. Tidehunter gets crit down. Whitebeard, maybe the next target of choice. Instead, TC will get turned into a frog. Rivet as he moves up to the high ground. And EG will back out. Whitebeard taunting him a little bit. But EG, they won't fall for it.
Look, it's just making talent farming a challenge now. It makes talent farming more fun, is how I see it in the hill. But they're going to keep on Artour. You want TC and that is Thunder. There's no way out for TC. Whitebeard's still just sitting around on top of the hill and hoping something comes his way. No multicast onto Arteezy. That would have been a kill if he gets a 2 or a 3-timer. Maybe not a 2. Would have been close there, but a 3-timer for sure.
Yep. So EG 35-12. They're having some fun with it here. Sneaking into Assassins, hanging on for dear life, and perhaps hoping to end some more big streaks to get back into this game. Whitebeard will shot down once more. Another Primal Split is deployed, and the Ravage flies through. That'll be the end of the dominating streak onto Arteezy. And Ush will find himself 1,500 gold richer. Buyback now onto the Disruptor. But EG will start to mount the bench. Zai comes in, and, well, they'll lose their Batrider. Mike just too squishy. A triple kill for Fear. They'll go back in onto Fluff. If Fear 12-1-14. The GG is finally called. Snoz had enough mucking around, getting wrecked-a-ronied in their own base as an ultra kill comes out for Fear. And EG looking damn good. Technically, game 2 of this best of 5 series.
Yeah, this is the EG I think people have just come to know. Very dominant performance. Definitely the heavy favorites in this American qualifier for Star Ladder, and showing it here, even on 6.82. Slightly different draft. I mean, going back for the Wisp and also pulling up the PA, which we haven't seen in a long time. We saw a lot of it back at the Summit, but definitely has fallen off. Maybe going to see a resurgence with the Wisp synergy in the mid lane, and then obviously all around EG just kind of very dominant play. Fear just incredible performance on the Brewmaster especially. Yeah,
I don't know that there's too much else to say about that match, as the end just kind of turned into a bloodbath. Universe also having a perfect game.